He was always busy, but never moved forward. Leo answered emails before breakfast. He joined meetings during lunch. He made plans after dinner. Everyone said he was hardworking, and Leo believed them. Because his calendar was full, his laptop was always open, his phone never stopped buzzing. From the outside, Leo looked like a man who was going somewhere. But after 2 years, something strange happened. His career had not moved. His savings had not moved. His confidence had not moved. Even the small plant on his desk looked more alive than he did. Leo was not lazy. That was the confusing part. Lazy people usually know they are avoiding work. Leo was different. He was avoiding work by working. Every morning, Leo woke up with a plan. Not a simple plan, a serious plan. A plan with colors, boxes, arrows, and enough structure to frighten a small intern. At 7 o'clock, he checked his email. Just quickly, at least that was the idea. But email is never quick. Email is a hallway with no windows. One message needed a reply. Another needed a follow-up. Another reminded him of a task he had forgotten. Another was just a newsletter he did not remember subscribing to. By 8:15, Leo had answered 11 emails. He felt productive. His coffee was cold. His real work had not started. But his inbox looked slightly less angry. Then came the calendar. Leo loved his calendar. It made his life look organized. Every colored block felt like proof that he was an important person with important things to do. There was a meeting at 9, a meeting at 10, a meeting to prepare for another meeting at 11. That one was called a quick sync. It was never quick. In meetings, Leo looked focused. He nodded at the right moments. He said things like, "That makes sense," and "Let's circle back." No one knew where the circle was. Sometimes he took notes. Sometimes he made action items. Sometimes he made action items about previous action items. This made everyone feel safe. Nobody moved, but everyone felt safe. At lunch, Leo opened his task manager. There were 43 tasks. Some were important. Some were old. Some had been copied from older lists, like tiny ghosts of past ambition. Leo did not start with the hardest task. Of course not. That would be uncomfortable. Instead, he chose a small task, a harmless task, a task that could be finished in 7 minutes and celebrated like a personal victory. He renamed a folder. Then he cleaned his desktop. Then he updated a spreadsheet. Then he changed the title of a document from draft to final draft. Then from final draft to final draft 2. By 3 o'clock, Leo had completed many small things. His task manager had check marks. Beautiful check marks. Check marks are dangerous. They make movement and progress look like the same thing. But the big task was still there. The one he had been avoiding all week. The proposal. The difficult conversation. The project that could actually change something. Leo looked at it. The task looked back. Neither of them moved. So Leo did what any very busy person would do. He made another plan. This plan was better, more realistic, more strategic, more aligned with his current priorities. Those were Leo's favorite words. They made procrastination sound like leadership. At 6:30, Leo closed his laptop. He was tired. Very tired. The kind of tired that feels noble. The kind of tired that says, "I must have done something important today." But when Leo asked himself what had changed, the room became quiet. No project finished, no hard decision made, no real progress. Just a full day, carefully spent going nowhere. Leo did not like that feeling, so he avoided it. The next morning, he woke up earlier. If one busy day did not work, maybe a longer busy day would. This sounded logical. It was not. He downloaded a new productivity app. The app promised clarity. Leo loved clarity, especially when clarity came with a dark mode, a clean dashboard, and a 7-day free trial. For 2 days, Leo was a new man. He created categories. He added tags. He built dashboards. He watched tutorials about the dashboard. He did not do the project, but the dashboard was beautiful. Then came another system. A better system. This one used priorities. Leo had priority 1, priority 2, and priority 3. Somehow, everything became priority 1, which meant nothing was. Leo started reading articles about deep work. He watched videos about focus. He listened to podcasts about attention. He became very knowledgeable about doing focused work, mostly while not doing focused work. Whenever he felt guilty, he opened another tab. How to stop procrastinating. How to be more productive. How successful people manage their time. Leo did not need more information. He needed 5 uncomfortable minutes with the work he feared. But uncomfortable work has a special problem. It does not give quick rewards. It does not clap when you begin. It does not turn green when you finish a tiny step. It just sits there, waiting. Emails reward you quickly. Messages reward you quickly. Small tasks reward you quickly. Even reorganizing your notes feels like something happened. Real progress is quieter. That is why it is easy to ignore. Weeks passed, then months. Leo's days became a loop. Wake up, check email, attend meetings, make plans, do small tasks, feel tired. Promise tomorrow will be different. Tomorrow was not different. Tomorrow wore a different shirt and did the same thing. Leo began to feel stuck, but stuck in a strange way. Not frozen, busy. He was moving all the time, typing, clicking, replying, scheduling, updating, rearranging. But inside, he felt like a hamster wearing business casual. One Thursday, Leo's manager asked for a progress update. It was a simple question. How is the main project going? Leo smiled. The smile arrived before the answer. That was usually a bad sign. He said, "It's moving." This was not exactly a lie. Things around the project were moving. Documents were moving. Meetings were moving. Deadlines were moving. The project itself was resting peacefully. His manager nodded slowly. "Can I see the latest version?" Leo opened his laptop. He clicked through folders. There was a brief silence. Then a longer silence. Then the kind of silence that starts wearing a suit. The latest version was not ready. Actually, the middle version was not ready. If Leo was being honest, the first version had barely survived. It existed mostly as a title, 3 bullet points, and hope. "I'll send it tonight," Leo said. He said it with confidence, not because he had time, but because confidence is sometimes what panic wears to work. That night, Leo stayed late. For once, he opened the actual project. No email, no dashboard, no playlist, no new plan, just the blank document. The blank document was rude. It did not care how busy Leo had been. It did not care about his meetings. It did not care that his calendar looked like a colorful accident. It wanted words. Leo wrote one sentence, then deleted it. He wrote another sentence, then stared at it like it had insulted his family. After 20 minutes, he had a paragraph. A bad paragraph, but a real one. This felt terrible. Much worse than answering emails. Emails made Leo feel clever. This made him feel slow. Emails made him feel useful. This made him feel exposed. And that was the truth Leo had been avoiding. He was not afraid of being busy. Busy was comfortable. Busy gave him cover. He was afraid of doing the work that could prove whether he was good enough. The next morning, Leo met his old friend Sam for coffee. Sam looked relaxed, annoyingly relaxed, the kind of relaxed that makes you suspicious. Leo asked how work was going. Sam said, "Pretty good. I've been working on one main thing for the last 6 months." Leo almost laughed. "One thing? For 6 months? That sounded illegal." Leo asked, "Don't you have emails, meetings, random tasks?" Sam nodded. "Of course." "Then how do you find time?" Sam shrugged. "I don't find it. I protect it." Leo did not like that answer. It was too simple. Simple answers are annoying when you have spent years building complicated problems. Sam continued. Every morning, I do the important thing first, before the world starts asking for pieces of me. Leo looked down at his coffee. He thought of his mornings, the inbox, the calendar, the tiny tasks, the way he gave the best part of his brain to the least important work. Sam did not say Leo was wrong. That made it worse. He just said, being busy feels responsible, but sometimes it's just a polite way to avoid risk. Leo laughed, then stopped, because it was not funny enough. On the way home, Leo kept thinking about that sentence. Avoid risk. That word followed him. Risk. The big project had risk. The hard conversation had risk. The important decision had risk. Renaming folders had no risk. That evening, Leo opened his task manager. 49 tasks. He stared at them. For the first time, he did not ask, what can I finish quickly? He asked, what would actually move my life forward? The answer was obvious. That was inconvenient. It was the project. The same project he had surrounded with emails, meetings, notes, systems, and professional-looking avoidance. Leo dragged it to the top. Then he did something painful. He deleted half his task list. Not forever, just for tomorrow. Some tasks complained silently. Leo ignored them. A task can look urgent simply because it is close to your face. The next morning, Leo did not open email first. His hand tried. Muscle memory is dramatic. It moved toward the email icon like a tiny animal returning home. Leo stopped it. He opened the project instead. For 90 minutes, he worked. Badly at first, slowly, messily, without feeling impressive, without checking anything off, without anyone seeing him try. After 30 minutes, he wanted to escape. After 40 minutes, he needed water. After 50 minutes, he suddenly remembered a folder that definitely needed reorganizing. At 60 minutes, something changed. The project began to move, not quickly, not beautifully, but honestly. One section became clearer, one idea became stronger, one problem became smaller. Leo felt tired in a different way. This tiredness did not feel like noise. It felt like weight. Like he had actually carried something. Not just walked around the room holding a clipboard. When the 90 minutes ended, Leo opened his email. The world had not ended. There were messages, there were questions, there were tiny fires. But most of them were not fires. They were candles with confidence. Leo still had meetings. He still had tasks. He still had days when everything went wrong before breakfast. But he stopped giving his best energy to whatever screamed first. He made a new rule. One real thing before 10. Not 10 tiny things. Not a perfect plan. Not a dashboard. One real thing. Something that would still matter tomorrow. Some mornings the real thing was writing. Some mornings it was making a decision. Some mornings it was having the conversation he had postponed for 2 weeks. Leo hated those mornings. Then he respected them. A month later, the project was finished. Not because Leo became a different person, not because he found the perfect system, not because his calendar became magical. The project finished because Leo finally stopped confusing motion with progress. His days were still full, but they were not as noisy. His task list was still there, but it no longer controlled the room. His calendar still had meetings, but it no longer got the best part of him by default. One afternoon, Leo looked at the small plant on his desk. It was still there. Somehow, it looked a little better. Maybe because someone had finally remembered to water it. Maybe because Leo had stopped using it as a symbol of emotional collapse. He smiled at the plant. Then he opened his laptop. There were emails waiting. There always are. But before he answered them, he opened the next important thing. Not because he felt ready, not because it was easy, because he had learned that easy work can keep you busy forever, and important work rarely feels easy at the beginning. For years, Leo thought being tired meant he was making progress. He thought a full calendar meant a full life. He thought small tasks were harmless. But small tasks can become a hiding place when they protect you from the work that matters. Being busy feels safe because it gives you proof that you tried. But progress does not ask how tired you are. It asks what changed. And sometimes, the biggest mistake is not doing nothing. Sometimes, the biggest mistake is doing everything except the one thing that would actually move you forward.